Okay, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we, Mr. Salam, Mrs. Yogi Widiawati, and I, Aulia Putri, will present you our paper entitled Can Students' Grammar Mastery Contribute to Their L2 Acquisition? This paper presents the findings of a study investigating how well the students could identify and comprehend the English grammar rules they used when speaking English without any prior preparation. The study involved 24 Indonesian students sitting in an international class where English is used as a medium of instruction during the lectures. To obtain valid data about the English grammar mastery, the students were interviewed in English. Then, their grammatically correct sentences were set aside to be used as research instruments. These instruments were shown to the students who produced them, and they were asked to explain why they applied these grammar rules in their sentences. The results showed that 18 out of 24 students, or 75%, involved in this student could explain perfectly and correctly why these grammar rules applied, and the rest made very few mistakes. This picture means that the student's mastery of English grammar can contribute to their L2 acquisition. And now, more detailed information will be explained by Mrs. Yogi Widiawati. Ibu Yogi, the room is yours.
Okay, thank you, Miss Aulia Nourma Putri, for the time given to me. Okay, gentlemen, talking about students' mastery in English grammar, one of the experts, Bapak Salam or Mr. Salam, say that mastering English grammar and vocabulary can help students improve their English speaking abilities. And another expert says that when we discuss any language, we cannot avoid discussing the grammar rules of that language. Especially when we are talking about the foreign languages. Some Indonesian students in ESP language, in ESP classes, enjoy learning the use of English grammar rules, while others are allergic to learning them because they think that is the most boring part of learning a new language. That's according to the teacher's experience, and also this is the theory comes from Bapak Salam, or Mr. Salam in 2021. And in order to discuss how sentences are constructed, we must first understand grammar rules, understand the grammar of language, can help our interlocutors understand the content of our conversation. And the objective of our research is, number one, investigating how well the student could identify and comprehend the English grammar rules they used when speaking English without any prior preparation. And the second objective is knowing whether the students' English grammar knowledge could contribute to their second language acquisition. And the third one, showing that teaching grammar explicitly can help students use English fluently in spontaneous discourse. Okay, I'll continue with the review-related literature. So there are some experts in this issue. The first one comes from Mr. Salam and friends in 2020. They said that what is meant by students' grammar mastery in the study is not implicit but explicit knowledge of grammar rules. The other opinions comes from Alice in 2008, says that this explicit knowledge can only be assessed through controlled processing in the planned use of the language. And also the same expert, Alice, in 2005, finds that knowing explicit grammar rules may lead to the learners being able to notice the structures that explicitly these rules. Still talking about the review-related literature, yeah, comes from Willis says that the students' explicit knowledge of grammar rules can be seen in their answers to their lectures questions about the grammar rules used when they were interviewed. The dominant view of the second language learning is developmental process that is not under the learner's conscious control. That is said by Willis and Willis in 2007. We are still talking about the literature. The opinion, some experts says that language learning is not about memorizing grammar rules and then becoming increasingly adept at applying them through practice. Instead, the learners are encouraged to follow the internal predefined syllabuses and gain second language features when developmentally appropriate. Then, as a result, the second language instruction should engage students in a variety of communicative tasks that will encourage natural acquisition. The task is the most appropriate type of communicative activity for many second language specialists. Okay, that's the opinion comes from Alice in 2003. The last one comes from Van Patten in 2004. He says that explicit grammar knowledge is believed to be able to help students to understand better and identify spoken or written constructions and able to increase understanding in acquisition of a second language. Okay, I think that's all about the literature. The next explanation will be explained by Mr. Salam. Time is yours, Mr. Salam.
Thank you. Now, I would like to explain determining factors in learning second language. Now, the first one is motivation factor. As we know that motivation is a desire that moves someone to do something. This one stated by Brown in 1980. In language learning, there is an assumption that the person who is motivated tends to be more successful than people who are not. Now, the second determining factor in learning second language is age factor. There is a general assumption that in learning second language, children will be better than more successful than adults. However, the results of research on the age factor in second language learning shows that the age of the factor doesn't play a significant role because the order of acquisition by children and adults is just the same. The next. Now, the third determining factor in learning second language is formal presentation factor. Now, presentation of language learning has an influence on the success of language acquisition. And the fourth factor is first language factor. Language learning experts have long argued that the first language has a great influence on the second language acquisition process. The next. Now, methodology. Now, this study involved participants. Now, in this study, involved 24 students sitting in an international class where English is used as a medium of instruction. They were interviewed in English without any prior notification. It means here, without explaining when and where the interview will be conducted, now the students just were interviewed. Now we involved 24 students. And then data collection and data analysis. Now each participant, it means the student, was interviewed by one of the researchers. It was done by Ibu Aulia, Yogi, and me myself. Now the topics discussed were students' hobbies, on-campus activities, their reasons for choosing international classes, academic achievements, their challenges attending international classes, and plans for future preparation. Now the interview took place at school outside of regular class time. It means the interview was conducted in the campus, but outside the class time. And then interviews lasted about 30 minutes, and the results were recorded by the researcher. Then all recorded interview results were also graphically transcribed and analyzed accurately to find sentences containing appropriate grammar rules. Furthermore, these correct sentences, which were made by the students, were set aside to be used as data source in this study. Go on. The next, Bu Aulia. To obtain accurate data on students' mastery on grammar knowledge, respondents, here means the students involved in this study, were asked to explain the use of grammar rules in the sentences spoken by themselves during the interview. So they were asked to explain their own sentences which were made while in the interview. Now, the questions supposed to the respondents focus on the grammar rules they had learned in class, namely tenses, auxiliary, and then passive voice, quantifiers, and others. Go on, Aulia, and the findings. Now, 18 students out of 24, it means yet there were 75% could explain the grammar rules they use in the interview. It means here the students really understood what they talk about. The grammar rules they use, they really master. And then 6 students out of 24, so there are only 25%, made very few mistakes on the uses of noun determiners and conditional sentences. It means why they use a little and a few, for example, and then they made mistake in using type 1 or type 2 or type 3 conditional sentences. But there are only 25%. And then teaching English grammar explicitly could help students acquire L2. It means here, when they understood the grammar use, they really could express their idea in English. And then students with strong motivation got better English achievement. When we ask the students who made, who could explain correctly and precisely, they showed their strong motivation in joining English class. Next. The conclusion, the students' grammar mastery can contribute to their second language acquisition. And the last but not least, the suggestion, the students are trained to explain the grammar rules they are applying in their oral communication. That's all our presentation. We hope if the participants have questions, now please write on this part. Thank you very much. Thank you, Bu Aulia.
Okay, thank you. For you have any questions, you can post comments and ask questions below our presentation available on Ivy Call website, and we try to answer by giving our answer in the Ivy Call website. Okay, so thank you for watching our video. Goodbye. Thank you.